The Real Estate Photography Podcast is brought to you by TourBuzz.net, high-definition virtual tour and photograph hosting, now with interactive floor plans. Sign up for your free trial today. Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast with Mike Muriello. Today we have a composition tip and a little bit of a gear tip. I threw this image up in a previous podcast, and then I was just going through my files and I realized there's a little bit more I could have talked about when creating something like this, which is when shooting through an archway, it's incredibly important that you're in the direct center. And I didn't keep the outtakes from this little session here, but getting in the absolute direct center, for me anyway, it's not always easy. And most of the time it's my fault. Sometimes things aren't built symmetrically, but if you're off by maybe an inch or two, things can start to get ugly. So, from this sort of thing, I was at another house and I thought, all right, well, let's go ahead and show what it would look like when we start to do something a little bit off center. So, here it is, as close to center as I possibly could get, just trying to show what it looks like through the archway. Now, if I move over about 2 inches to the left, this is what we get. And it's a slight difference, but you're going to start to notice all sorts of things that are not correct. For example, well, the first thing and most obvious is down here by the baseboards. You can't see that, and you can see that. The other one that is really stands out is this line right here, where the ceiling and the wall meet. It's not straight across. If you were to put a grid up, you would not see this line up to the grid. So if I were to go back and as I said before, it's 2 inches. This one it's pretty close to straight. This one is not. So here we are at center again. And now I overdid it on this one. I'm going to go to the right. I think I went about 3 or 4 inches to the right. And you can see how large of a difference it makes. Just a few inches. Because as you can see, the baseboards, the line over there, this is almost, well, obviously it's intentional, but this looks intentionally skewed. So once again, as close to center as possible to the left, as close to center as possible to the right. And the whole point is really focus on how close to center you are looking through archways, because if you're slightly off to the left or the right, it's going to show up big time. And the other thing is, the way I really try and do that is by using the grid. Now I shoot Nikon. I don't know what it looks like in Canon, but this is an option you can turn on in the camera where you can say, all right, turn on grid. And all of a sudden you're going to get these vertical and horizontal lines around your autofocus points. And when you're lining up, I'll tell you what, this tool is invaluable. I leave my grid on 100% of the time. So, check out the features of your camera, turn on the grid, and line things up so you can get things just a little bit more straight. So that's the composition and gear tip. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.